Inclusion has, in theory, a very simple definition. It means that everybody has a seat at the table. But I'm going to adapt a kind of a quote or an idea from Bernice King, where it's like, who is the person who can invite you to the table? And this all relates to power and who has the power. And so I think when we're really talking about inclusion, where that we don't have to ask who is and isn't missing, it's just everybody is there already.
We do know from equity reports, so the Canadian Association of University Reports 2018, UBC's equity report from 2019, that there are very few women who sit at these leadership roles, and in particular, even less racialized women.
One of the things that's limited is the perspectives that are not necessarily coming from a Western lens. And not to say that the Western lens is bad, but to say that the other one is always shut down as, insignificant. I think there's the realization that part of the reason why someone doesn't feel included is because they are listening to the story about themselves from a perspective that doesn't really understand them.
It would be best to just kind of ask the people who are in those spaces what they need and then proceed from there, because I tend to see like a lot of it is based on assumption. Like people just kind of assume to know what is right because maybe they're in a position of power or they've done this before, or this is not their first rodeo when it comes to inclusivity or something related to culture. So they just think that, okay, what I did last time will work this time.
As kind of the only racialized librarian on our campus, I feel like I make my identity and my positionality fairly clear when I'm talking to students, and I think that has led to students coming to me sometimes and talking about their experiences in different spaces on campus.
When I first came to UBC, my first year biology prof, Dr. Robin Young, had put her pronouns into her syllabus, and it was my first time seeing anything like that. And to say that I was delighted and knew that this person was trustworthy instantly would be an understatement. I phoned my parents. I was so excited just to tell them that I had found this person who didn't even know my name yet that was safe.
With the ACSC, it just opened doors for me to find friends within my major or just friends in general from places that I come from. It gave me a chance to just experience new people, and I'm very grateful for the fact that I got to do that, because most of my friends now are from the ACSC, and I'm very happy that I got to see these people and meet with them and learn from them, because a lot of their perspectives helped change me.
The monopoly of knowledge is not necessarily just Western, but it's human. It's global. And I feel like that is really one of the barriers to inclusivity is in knowledges from different places, and allowing people from other spaces to tell their story authentically, even if it's uncomfortable. And especially in a university, it's a space of knowledge, it's a space of discussion. And I think that's what really expands a knowledge base or a worldview, is different stories from different perspectives.
I think there's a lot of really great work already happening. So continuing the work of the Inclusion Action Plan, the Indigenous Strategic Plan are great starts. I think being held accountable to those plans and making sure that we're following through on what those mean for our campus culture, but also in terms of where we're going next. So it is not a one and done situation. It's like, how do we keep returning to these documents?
Those that you are trying to include, see when you're trying to include them and see when you don't. Educators have a lot of power, and educators at UBC have a lot of influence over those that they are teaching. And to use that influence for good and for inclusion is really, really powerful.
If we truly want to be representative of society, these are efforts that we would have to make university-wide to recruit women, to recruit racialized women in particular, in these leadership roles. And in particular, to give voice to understandings about issues, about complexities, about challenges related to the spectrum, the diversity of gender, of class, and of backgrounds. I'm also very buoyed and feel confident with the task force that have arisen out of this last year, and seeing how, as a senior administration, we are moving forward to bring these discussions to the forefront of our conversations. So through task force, through listening sessions, through speaker series, and bringing together a variety of voices who come together to share their perspectives.